I am really excited to have the Titan to Titan student content team on the first episode of Titan Talk. So before we get started, I want you guys to introduce yourselves and tell everybody how you decided to get involved with Titan to Titan. Want to go first?
Hi, I'm Sierra Casey. I decided to get involved with Titan to Titan because last year I did something similar with Titan Hot Takes where we would interview students.
My name is Omaris Nieves. You're going to see or hear the exact same thing from me because we started it last year too together.
I'm Zoe Page, and I had the idea for Titan to Titan with the social media page because I ran something similar my sophomore year for LHS Titan News on Instagram for Mr. Trout. And I had the idea that we should do it this year, and I thought what they were doing last year was really, really cool, so I thought that we should do something like that and post on Instagram and get more student-based.
Okay. So what's the goal of Titan to Titan?
The goal for Titan to Titan, for me at least, and I think that we might share a similar idea for that, is it's just pretty much just for students, led by students. And that's the motto that we keep using because like with Titan Hot Takes, we get their opinions on stuff. And now like I know Sierra did an interview with B and Maddie about what they did at Cleveland Institute of Art, and I would, even though it was a podcast, the stuff similar to that, maybe like shortened down and smaller just to be more consumable and attention-based because kids don't really have a very long attention span.
Adults too.
Yeah.
So do you guys have a goal for the stories you want to tell this year?
I guess not really, mainly just focused on students because, I mean, we don't really hear a lot about them. Like we hear what can help them or like, you know, but not like firsthand like stories or anything like that. And I feel like it's really important to get those out there. And it's really interesting because everybody lives such a different life.
I'm so excited that you said you want to really get the student voice out there because it really speaks to one of the goals of the district that we have, and that's to elevate student voice. Michael Pashadi and I, who's the multimedia production coordinator, say hi, Michael.
Hello.
He and I went to a national conference in July of this year, and one of the many sessions that we attended was about how to elevate student voice and how to get more students involved in the storytelling of your district. So when Michael came back and he decided that he really wanted to do that, it kind of really was like perfect timing because then, of course, your students wanted to do it as well. We were able to really push Titan to Titan forward to kind of like get your voices out there. So tell me a little bit about what you think students want other adults to know about what's happening in the building in their lives.
I think for me personally, like from like a student point of view, is that like sometimes there's a miscommunication with teachers that like obviously yes, their job is to teach, and this is obviously like a professional, like a building, you're supposed to be a professional, you're a teacher, but it's also okay to like let students in and like talk to them and like actually be like friendly with the student. It's not like they're your coworker. I mean, and then obviously like they kind of are, but then you guys can also have like a friendship, and like obviously it doesn't have to lead outside of the school, but it helps the student a lot. I have a lot of teachers like Trout again, or like Pachadi that we work with closely, and I have a good relationship with them, and it really helps me come to school and be excited to come to school, and I want that for other students as well.
I think what like this does is, like Zoe kind of said, is it helps me come to school. Like it kind of gives me something to do for the day, and also something to look forward to in like upcoming days. I always think about like, oh, what would we be doing today? What ideas are we gonna say today in the meeting, or like, you know, things like that. And also I'm also kind of piggybacking on what she said about the teachers. I think having good relationships with your students just improves getting them to engage, and it kind of brings out conversations within them that like otherwise you probably wouldn't have heard or even thought about.
Okay. Sarah, do you have anything you want to add?
I feel like having this like Titan to Titan and being able to engage with students from another student's perspective is so much better than like if a teacher were to come up to you, because usually if you see a teacher come up to you that you think they don't understand how you feel, but if you have one of your peers, it's like different, because me and Zoe, I see us on the same level. But like if it is a teacher, I see them more as a figure where a formative figure, like they're there to like make sure I do good. But Zoe's like, we're friends. I can talk to her how I want to talk to her. So it's easier to talk to her. And what you were saying about disengagement, teen disengagement, I feel like that works hand in hand too, because I didn't come to school before I joined child's class, but as soon as I joined video production, I actually had something to look forward to. And I know with a lot of students, a lot of them want us to bring hot takes back, and they like waiting for us to start filming again so they can be on the camera or have something forward to look to. And when we did it last year, students couldn't wait to watch Titan News to see if they were on the video that day.
So I'm glad you guys are talking about the content that you're creating, because every time I see you guys in a room with Michael Shotty or with Terry Trout, you're doing something fun. And of course, it's so funny when I say this the day after, your fun incident, because it's all fun and games until the fire alarm goes off and the fire department comes.
I had no part of that. I was at work. I definitely did hear about it though.
So for those who don't know, on yesterday, you guys were doing some hype photos and videos with the girls' soccer team using fog and smoke machines, and you set off the smoke detector. This was after school. And of course, everyone did a great job of evacuating the building when the fire alarm went off, and the fire department did a fantastic job of coming to make sure the building was safe and secure for you guys to go back in. But I love how you saw some inspiration and decided to roll with it. So tell me a little bit about how you guys come up with your ideas.
I think like before, like I had this idea, like I like hearing their ideas. So I like, because I think that because originally when I made this idea, I was like, oh, I wonder who I could do this with. And it went to Sierra and Maurice, because I think these are two of the most creative people within Trout, like some of the most creative people within Trouts. And like, we're also like all the same age, we're all in the same grade, we're all graduating this year. Like, I think this would be like and we're all third year. So this would be like a fun, like final, like hurrah. And we can do stuff like that. And I like hearing their ideas. And so like Sierra and Maurice both have some brilliant ideas, and I usually, since I'm behind the camera, I love to be able to execute them. So like, I don't know, if we want to bring up like the phone band video, it was like, it was supposed to be like it wasn't like, it was serious, but it was also jokey. It was like, because we were working with Cawthon, and so I mean, he's a teacher, he's a great teacher, but he is he's a jokey person, and I love him to death, and he's a great teacher and a great role model. But I feel like, for example, like again, like what I said before with like teachers and students, like he's a great example of that. He can still be very professional and have a great relationship with students. And I feel like that was a good person to have in that video. And the way that we come up with these ideas is like seeing like problems maybe like within the building that can be turned into something like, or like not problems in the building, but like problems with like students, and like it's something that's like, there's a wall between a teacher and a student that like a student would understand, that maybe we can understand, and now we can produce that, and now you can understand a little bit better on why it's an issue.
Yeah. We do have a lot of policies and procedures that we want our students to follow, and sometimes what's missing is the why. And so you guys have a great way of kind of explaining why this needs to happen.
Yeah.
We did that when we had you guys do a video about game day protocols, which I thought was so great, because you included so many different students. It just wasn't geared towards the football team. You included so many different student athletes and gave everyone a time to have a little voice to talk on the video. So whose idea was the video? Kind of walk me through your process when you're coming up with an idea.
Well, it was Sturgeon and Hilco that brought us the idea, right?
For the student video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was student etiquette.
Yeah. And it was because they had seen what we did with the phone band video, and they were like, oh.
But with the phone band video, Trout was actually talking to us about the new band policy, which we didn't know. It was like we couldn't have our phone in the cafeteria or in the hallways, none of that. So like with the incoming freshmen, we thought about them, like they're coming into the environment expecting to like be allowed on their phone during lunch when they weren't allowed in middle school. So he's like, how can we convey this message so they'll understand? And then we just started planning.
Lighthearted manner.
We just started planning. We didn't know what teacher. We wanted a teacher to be involved. We didn't know what teacher. Cawthon was a perfect pick, obviously. we made like 5 different scripts for that video.
Yes, we did.
Same with the student etiquette video. We just knew we wanted all the fall sports involved. We arranged the lines we had for each club and stuff, had everybody say different lines, and then we just all put it together, and it was so much fun to do.
Yeah. Some of your videos have gotten thousands of views on Instagram and Facebook where we're sharing them. So what role do you want to see social media play in the Titan to Titan?
Oh, I think it'll be interesting and also very fun for others because as you saw, like what we did with the fall sports and the phone van and everything, people are able to easily share that and put that out to other students, and they'll see it and maybe they'll find it funny. Hopefully you find it funny.
We work hard.
I think that we're pretty funny people, guys. I think we are.
We try. But like, you know, hopefully they find it funny, and it's very lighthearted, but it also has like, okay, like, you know, we should do this, or hey, like this is what we got to do, while also kind of keeping, again, the lightheartedness and the jokey manner, but still keeping the message behind it.
Well, for me at least, when I seen, because again, I kind of had like I dipped my toes in it my sophomore year when I was helping Trout. I seen how students were engaging with like the stuff that I was posting, because usually it wasn't like anything like specific, like, oh, I'm posting a student, or I'm posting this, I'm posting that. It was usually just like, if you're watching Night News, you put a graphic up or like a thing, and it'll say like, oh, like volleyball, blah, blah, blah. Well, I had seen that like, well, technically we're not supposed to have our phones in class, and this will be a good way, like outside of school, instead of like them pausing the video, taking a photo of it, it'll be on their phones. And it's easy to communicate that way. And then also like with now like our new schedule and stuff for this year, instead of like, obviously we have LHS Titan News, but Titan's a completely different thing. And now instead of like having it just all be like information based and then like randomly throwing in students, we can have 2 separate things. And now it's students with students. And I feel like it'll be a better example because it's better to engage with them that way.
So you believe that students will listen to or connect more with content that's made by students?
I hope so, because a lot of the time when I've seen a lot of like, at least when they watch the news, like the news is very popular and like out that gets played and like all the students watch it, but sometimes like they'll be like, oh, what was that? Or they're not paying attention. Now like they can actually like go on to social media and see like, oh, this is it. And also it's fun to see them, like maybe they're in a video. It's fun to see them on Instagram on something that is correlated with the school. And also it's showing like how it is inside of Lorain High. And I know a lot of the time when like a teacher says something to a student, sometimes they might take it like, oh, like they're lecturing me, or oh, it's this way, like it's supposed to be taken bad. But it's not always that way. What we're doing is literally just kind of repeating what the teachers say to you, but instead it's us like making a statement like, hey, like here's this, but like not as serious. You should take it serious, but not as serious as you might be taking a teacher. Because sometimes, obviously, you're supposed to take your teacher serious, but it's never that serious to be mad. You can laugh. You can laugh. They're messing with you. I promise. They're not just like a stone wall. Like you can interact with them, and that's also what we try to do is see that these teachers aren't just like stone walls. That they're just meant here to teach. They have a personality. They have a humor. They have everything, and that just like you do, we're all. At the end of the day, we're all humans, and we all have that.
Yeah. So the 3 of you are really touching on 2 things that are so important to us as a district, and we're coming from our leadership, and we're talking about what we need to move our district forward and to continue with our progress. So we're talking about culture in our buildings and as well as student attendance, because we believe that if there's a great culture in our buildings and students want to be here, then our attendance will improve. According to last reports, our chronic absenteeism in the district is 59%. That means 59% of students have missed more than 18 days of school in last school year. And so you guys talked a lot about what inspires you to come to school and what motivates you to have that student attendance. So if you guys could come up with your own attendance campaign to help us change that number to lower that 59% of students who are chronically absent, meaning they have missed 10% of school or more, 18 days a year. That's a lot of school. What would be the campaign? What would motivate kids to come to school?
If we were all working through together?
Yes.
I think for me it would be like, again, like kind of continuing on the message of like you can communicate with your teachers and you can be friends like with these students. And a lot of the time they have a fear of like not knowing another student, like, oh, they look so cool, but like, I don't know if I want to talk to them. If we're doing like tight hot takes, or we're like focusing on one student, a student that might have wanted to be friends with them, and now they're explaining their story or like touching on something they're interested in, and even making jokes, they can like feel a little bit more comfortable and feel more connected with them, to maybe they would reach out and become friends with them. And a lot of the time, like for me, not only did Trout help me and like with the class, but also I had made a lot of friends like from that promoted me to come to school. And so I feel like if that was a continuous thing, and like we can showcase like these students have their own personal lives, because I mean there's so many kids in this building. You walk by probably hundreds of kids a day, but every single one of them have their own life going on. Again, they have their own personality, their own humor, and they have their own interests. And sometimes you don't even know it, but they have the same interests as you. And sometimes that's just not very, you're not really able to tell that just walking in the hallway. But if we're doing this, maybe you'd be able to tell just a little bit better.
Okay. So Sierra and Marie, so give me your take on school attendance, because you even talked about how you didn't really like coming to school until you joined Terry's Trout's class, and you were part of TV20 production. So I mean, don't feel bad about saying that, because that tells me that you found a place that you felt connected in this building, and it encouraged you to change your attendance behavior. And so that's what we need to do for all of our students, is find a place where they're connected.
I feel like it's more of a teacher's thing. Like Trout, he engages with his students. He teaches us how to edit, how to be more self-sufficient. And once a teacher like helps you, you're like forever like think of that teacher when you're doing something. Like when we work doing our Thai hot takes or recording a video, I always think, oh, Trout helped me how to do this, or Pachadi helped me how to set up a camera, how to do the right angle, get the right lighting and stuff like that. I feel like once a teacher is more like, once you meet your teachers and they engage with you, you're more likely to engage with them, what makes you want to come to school more. Like I have a teacher, Miss Jackson. She's so nice, but I didn't come to school a lot because at first I didn't come to school because I just didn't like school. Then she's one of my teachers at the time. She sat with me after school and helped me make up work, and that made me form a bond with her, what made me want to come to her class more, so I started coming to class.
Well, I'm glad you're liking school, because you are a joy to have in the building.
Thank you.
And so, Maurice, what do you think? What's the attendance campaign that you think we should have in our district?
It's so weird. Because, I mean, I come because I have to. at least before I can say that truthfully. Before, I think maybe sophomore year, it was like my first full year here. There we go. And I was scared, I was here. I didn't know anybody. And I was in Trout's class. And for the first year, it was kind of just chill. It was subtle. But I did really like the class. And I would, throughout the day, I would just be thinking, oh, last block. I'm going to have so much fun in that class, And junior year last year and this year, last year specifically, I made a lot of friends because I had found a class. I had found teachers and stuff that I would like to have conversations with, that I could talk to, that I can joke with. And then I made a lot of friends and a lot of people that I talk to now on a daily basis. Sierra, I met Zoe last year too, but mostly this year. And I mean, it's great. It's great having these people. And it's yeah.
Okay. So that gives us some great ideas about how we can improve attendance from a student's perspective. And I love how you guys are talking about the classes that you found. And did you guys know that we revamped our entire high school schedule based on what the students wanted? We have all of these new classes that we're starting to offer based on what the students wanted, because we really value your voice in the direction we're going as a district and the direction we're going in the high school. So I want you to keep using your voice and keep speaking out, because that is exactly what we want to hear. So I have a question for you guys. If you had to describe your team in one word or phrase, what would it be?
Oh, one word or phrase.
Yeah. I'm going to say this word. Don't think it in a bad way. Chaotic.
Okay.
because we're all, I mean, as like not technically like a visual representation, but like we're all like, you could just tell probably by our all very different people. And like how she said, like I didn't know, like we met each other last year, but like we didn't get like closer until this year. And like, but I heard of her and I knew and I seen what she did for like Titan News, and I was like, we have to work with her. I have to work with her. Like, and so I had Sierra ask her, and she said yes. So I think like we just have very different personalities, and we all have very like big ideas. And then like at the end of the day, we always like agree on something, and like we always like make this idea happen, but it's very chaotic in the process of organizing everything else.
That's chaos. There's nothing wrong with it.
My word, like, you know, based on this team, it might be a little bit basic, but, you know, creative. I think we're all so creative in so many different ways. And I definitely do like having other people to like bounce ideas off with. And, oh, hey, like I really didn't like this part, but we could do this. Oh, yeah. Like, you know, we collaborate a lot, and I really love that. And I love how creative each of us are. And, you know, while Zoe may not be in front of the camera, she helps a lot with the stuff behind it.
Sierra?
Fun. I just have fun. Like, I love doing this. Anytime we give an idea out, we don't plan. We plan ahead, but like we have an idea. Like with the phone band, we're like, we're gonna make a video about phone band, and just ran with it. We went to Carlton class with a
very basic script.
Very basic script. We went off script a lot actually, and we just have fun with it. Like I like having fun, and I love doing it.
Okay, so the three of you are seniors, correct?
Yes.
So we do not want Titan to graduate with you. So how do you guys plan to grow this so other students get involved so that Titan continues after graduation?
So with the students in Charles' class, his class is actually a video editing class. So we're planning to talk to some of the students, show them how we edit our videos for Titan to Titan, how we make scripts and stuff like that, so they can keep it going after we graduate. We want to have students do it like when we graduate, like probably like the last month, have them like learn how to like post their own content, do their own content. And we want to leave behind like a book for future students to like look at. Well, not necessarily a book, but like a fun video, like a tutorial. Yeah, a tutorial for them to learn how to do what we do and just have fun with it. Like they might have different ideas, whole different vibe, but we just want them to have fun and talk to other students.
Yeah. And like for me at least, like I hope to maybe like similar like third years, because we're all third years in his class, so like maybe similar third years in the future, like when they're a third year, like they would be able to take, because we're a capstone, so they would be able to get a credit, and this would be their work. Like they would be doing something that we all do every day. We all scroll on our phones. If not all of us, the majority are all scrolling on our phones. Well, how about you just, now you can engage with your friends, and it could be something for school, and it'll be really fun. And I want people to see that it could be really fun. And I know some people like to work alone. I mean, like I like to work alone as well, but it's so like this group specifically has helped me like collaborate with people. And I hope that people in the future learn that, because that's pretty much what video broadcasting, especially with Trout's class, is about. You're working with so many people, and now like you can now throw out ideas and you can learn to agree, and now it's not like very like formed, because you're all making your own ideas. If you want to do something new, you just throw the idea out, you guys all agree, and then you could do it. Hansha, have anything?
We all just start to
do you have plans for the future of being content creators, social media influencers, marketing, public relations? All of these things are work in progress and can work with what you're learning here in school. These are real world techniques and real world expertise you're getting here. So what's your plans? What do you want to do?
I want to go into media studies.
Okay.
I'm taking a social media marketing class right now, actually. But I want to go to media studies. I want to work in front of the camera, and I want to do editing. Like, I want to edit, mainly work in front of the camera, and like, I want to just like make movies, make short films like we've been making. I just want to have fun in the place I work, behind the camera or in front of the camera.
Okay. What about you?
I'm also going for media studies. But I do like being on camera. I'm okay with it. It isn't just not something I would like go into like a job for. I specifically want to be in a job setting that just allows me to be as creative as I can be. Just get the creative juices flowing, you know, just put the ideas out on like somewhere, but like get them out. And I'm a very visual person, and I love like I love visually aesthetically pleasing things. I'm a big fan of magazines. I'm a big fan of, you know, cinematic movies and stuff like that. I just love, if it looks beautiful, I love it. But I want a job similar to something like that allows me to kind of create these visually pleasing things.
Okay. I'm so glad we're feeding that creative energy inside of you.
I'm doing something completely different than that. Okay. But to go with that, outside after high school is that like I would want to use this as like a portfolio, and there are opportunities. That's why I also wanted to make this, because there are opportunities for social media managing, and that's something that I would want to maybe pursue outside of high school. But I plan to major in psychology and become a psychologist and work in a prison.
Really?
Yes.
Went really to the left.
Yes. Yes. This is kind of like a side project, I guess, in a way for me. And like, I would love to pursue something outside of that. Like, I think me and Pachati were actually looking, because I had mentioned it to him, like when this like first started, I was like, I wonder like how this would be. And he had looked it up on LinkedIn, and he showed me that there was a job for social media managing at the Cleveland Orchestra, and they were making like it was a crazy salary, and it was like crazy to think like oh my like you can get this like and like have like you can just present your portfolio and see what you've been doing and like show that you've had this, and like you can continue with that. Like, this is something that you can do, and it's not like social media is going to go anywhere. It's going to keep going, and that's why I was so happy to include this with this. And like she said, teach it to this class, and like have it keep going, because it's a career in the future. But me, I like to see, that's why I like to work behind the camera, because I like to see like how people's like reacting to stuff, because I completely different thing that you guys are doing.
Okay. Well, do you guys have anything else you want to add? You guys have been a phenomenal first group of guests for our season 2 of Titan Talk, our podcast that we started last school year. Pashadi was a big part of getting this podcast off the ground, so we really appreciate that for him. So guys, anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to leave us with? Any nuggets?
I would say to like anybody, students that want to start anything, just have a teacher. Like, you don't even need a teacher to do it. Just start it. Like, we picked up a camera and started recording. You can record with your phone. Just have fun while you do it.
Yeah. Do you have anything? Yeah, I'll go with what she said, because like at the beginning I had talked to Pachati, and I was like, hey, like this is something that I really want to do, and I think other kids in the future want to do it, and this would be an amazing part of Trout's class to like teach them how to do this, and like show them that like while there's other parts to media, and I feel like, hey, this is a career in the future, and I feel like we should do it. And he was like, absolutely. And that's how we did this. So again, if you want to do something, do it, and reach out to teachers, and reach out and be loud, and do as much as you can. You were only young once, and
You never know where it'll be.
no.
Zoe started talking, and I thought of something.
Jump right in.
If you are like someone who wants to get out there but is really scared or very introverted, I am definitely somebody who is very introverted.
Yes.
But having a good group of people to do these types of things with will really help you get out of your shell. I talked to about 5 different people today, just trying to recruit them for like a club. Something that I never would have done maybe if you asked me 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm so grateful, because it really has elevated my communication skills with my peers, with everybody in this building. I talk to teachers more now. Like, it really just helps you get out of your comfort zone and explore the world around you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, like, I think you said before, like, I stay mostly behind the camera. I don't really like being in front of the camera, but that will not limit you to what you can do. I promise you, because I'm still working with these two. And even though you see most of these people in front of the camera, you will have so much create a possibility, and like you have so many opportunities, and it's amazing to see. And then like also when you are able to see their, like, again, I work behind the camera, see their reactions when I get a good take is so fulfilling, and it's so great. And just do it. Literally just do it. If you want to do it, do it. Like, that's the only thing I can say.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for being my guest. So there you have it. Our first episode of Titan Talk is complete and under wraps. Thank you guys for watching. I want you to remember that you can listen to Titan Talk on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Music. And don't forget to follow Titan to Titan on Instagram, where you don't forget it. Thank you guys. Goodbye.
Bye.